we still off?
Yep.
We're on. We're on. Colin,
We're on.
So at the end, stay on for a minute. I want to ask you something. But
Got it.
But for right now, like I said, this is going to be a fast show because I don't really have a lot to say. I'm disgusted.
Tell me why you're disgusted. Because you identified a problem and you said it would be a problem, and it is a problem, and everybody knew it was going to be a problem. And even though the Steelers won, there's no end to this problem.
That's it. You just hit it right on the head. Yep.
I mean, here's the thing, and this is worthy of a small discussion at least, that I don't know how people didn't see this coming. Like, everybody talked about the offensive ineptitude because it was being led by somebody who was inept. And so that happened, and here we are. And I just don't know how this surprises anybody, Richard.
I don't know either. And it surprises me that it's not addressed. It really does. It surprises me that it's not addressed. And it disappoints me because, without change, all you'll get is what you've got. And that's where we are. So yeah, I mean, what's the bright spot? What's the bright spot? The defense? Yes. I like our defense.
I can tell you how this is going to play out. That there are going to be games coming up very soon, maybe even as soon as this coming weekend in Las Vegas, where the defense doesn't get that last stop, and they get essentially every other stop or a bunch of stops in a football game. And then there's some people who second guess themselves and are tired of just talking about the same talking point. And then they start to lean over towards blaming the defense some. It was like at the end of the game yesterday. TJ Watt was so gassed because he was on the field for so long. He had to go sit out like 3 plays and come back in. That there's going to be a shift in the focus here where some people say, oh my gosh, the defense could have just stopped them one more time.
Yeah.
And then you're going to lose focus on what the real problem is, always will be, and always has been. Matt Canada being employed by this franchise.
I agree. And I don't want to be a fair weather fan. I'm not. I'm partially a fan. I'm partially, we have this show. So, I just, you're right. I said it right from the beginning. I liked everything about the Pittsburgh Steelers except that one component. I even gave it the benefit of the doubt. I didn't say I didn't like it. I said that's the part that concerned me. And if that doesn't change, then we really don't. It's going to be a waste of a great team. I think our defense can be great. I really do. I like some of the pieces. I'm concerned about the middle. I am concerned about that a little bit because we get gashed. Look at the yardage that they just Chubb put up 64 yards and the other guy put it. I mean, they did over 100 yards against us again.
Well, I do think there was one glaring bright spot besides TJ Watt and Highsmith being so good. The training wheels are off of Joey Porter Jr. now. He made a play at the end of the game. Was it interference? Was it not? Who knows? It wasn't in today's game, at least. That said, he's out there. He's full bore, and they should have confidence in him. And that should send Levi Wallace to the bench for good.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, he really did play well. He had a good game. So that is a bright spot. You're right. I think many things on the defense are bright spots. I think that we could really have a dominant defense, and it would be a shame to waste that dominant defense on this offense because this offense also has the ability to be a bright spot.
Are you sold on Jaylen Warren being a better back at this point?
Yes, I am. You know why? He's not going to be denied. He's seeing the same things. They're not changing the offensive line for him. He's seeing the same things that any other back behind him is seeing. Yeah, I mean, I think it was Troy Aikman that said he would not be denied. I mean, he just wouldn't go down. He would not be denied. And that's what I don't know if it's missing, but that's what I'd really like to see. I think that, I think if Najee doesn't really step up his game, but again, is he being put in the right position to step up his game?
Well, all right. This is something that people say. Well, and this is where you bring up a very good point and where I think this is a great conversation. First of all, I think Najee runs too high. But second of all, that aside, all things equal, Warren has given you an ability to be more dynamic because he catches the football a lot better and a lot more than Najee Harris. And I think adds a weapon to the offense, albeit this offense is stagnant and not good. Warren at least gives you that ability. I think he caught 4 or 5 balls yesterday, and he does things through the air that Najee has simply not shown to be able to do during his career.
But that's one of the appeals. That was the romanticism of hiring or drafting Najee in the first round, that he could do that. That was, I mean, because think about it right now. So they're stacking the line, the 5 guys in the front. Okay, that's fine. I get all that. And, kudos to them. But then the counter to that is they do the same with Jalen, and Jalen still does a decent job. So, but so that was exactly what we liked about Najee. Right now, he's a big back. He's got power. He's got speed. Get him in space. Get him out there. Run, pass options, short passes. Get the repetitions. That does 2 things. That builds the confidence in your quarterback, which we haven't done. We run a first down, then we run a sweep, then we run a sweep with a wide receiver. Like, why? Keep the wide receivers catching balls, not running the ball. You want to bring that play in at some point, that's fine. But don't be so damn predictable with it, because it's coming, and it's not effective. And maybe that one time it is effective, and you go, see, I told you it would work someday. Well, sure. Even a blind squirrel can find an acorn sometimes. But so yeah, I think you could do that with Najee. Why can't you do that with Najee? It's what we liked about him. Don't you remember? Najee's a 3-down back. That's right. But he's not proven that. But I don't think he's proven it because he's not getting put in the right position. I don't think that this offensive coordinator is seeing the talents and recognizing. Of course, he has to. He's much smarter than he knows the game. He must see them. But for some reason, there's something that makes him believe that his way is better. And it's not. It's not working.
We have to remember the Steelers won, but we have to remember how bad the offense is. I measured it with this exercise, not just last evening's game. I don't know if you did this, but I did. I watched Sunday night's game and saw what the Dolphins did, and it looked like the Dolphins and the Steelers are playing in different leagues. It doesn't look like they're competing for the same thing. That's how potent and how dynamic their offense was, Richard. What they're doing they come to the line, Tyreek Hill lines up somewhere, they identify a mismatch, he shifts into it and motions into where he knows he can hurt somebody and be very good. We never see that from the Steelers offense. Ever.
No. Honestly, it's, you say, yes, we won. Bottom line is it's a W, blah, blah, blah. But there was really no help from the offensive team. There was not. As a matter of fact, the offense put them in a position to lose the game, not win.
I agree. As bad as that is to say, it's actually factual. They were a hindrance to the defense's efforts.
They were. So, I mean, what do you do with that? Is that an individual criticism? No, it's not. It's systemic criticism. I look at this offense as a whole. I see so much talent on that group that Kenny Pickett should be great. He should be great. He has the ability to be great. He's got great resources around him. Then I see something in some publication that says George Pickens' first night as the #1 receiver. What's that mean?
Well, Deontay Johnson was hurt.
Yeah, but does that who anointed Deontay Johnson as the #1 receiver? Why? Why would that ever be? George Pickens has more talent in his little finger.
See, I like it. Here's the truth from you, and you're right.
And I just said this to somebody here. Maybe it was Dave Biggs. I just said this. Watch George Pickens, even on that 71-yard pass, touchdown pass. He does things that are just not human. He's running. Somebody tries to tackle him. He doesn't change direction, but his hips swivel like they're on a swivel to avoid the tackle. His hips swiveled. It was like unbelievable. Watch him. He's a freak of nature.
George Pickens isn't the best offensive player. He's the most naturally gifted athlete on the football team.
There's no question about that.
I don't know if it's close. Like I don't think the Steelers understand what they have with this guy.
I bet that's been his frustration. I would bet you if you had George Pickens on this show, that would be the frustration that he exhibits, because he's like, he knows what he is. And he looks at the others and he's like, wait, Deontay, okay, didn't score a touchdown last year. Deontay, well, sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not. I am always great, always. And not me personally, but that's the George Pickens conversation he should be having with himself. And then so he gets angry. He's passionate. So would I. I cannot just take one for the team and watch us fail. Can't do it. Speak up and let's go.
Right. And if you do that in this league, if you tell somebody else to stand down, especially at that position, you're a diva, you're a complainer, you're cantankerous, you're all that. But for me, what you are, you're being truthful.
You're being truthful. I mean, honestly, tell me something that this man can't do. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's got speed. He's got moves. I'm telling you, watch. Just see if you can see what I saw. And maybe I'm delusional, but watch the clip and watch his hips. It's like his hips go like this, and it's almost like they're on ball bearings on him. It's crazy.
They threw it to him 10 times. I think he caught 4 yesterday, and they should have thrown it to him 20 times.
Yes, but Kenny wasn't on target. So is he not on target because he doesn't know? Is he not on target because they're seeing different things in the defense? I don't know.
I think it's a little of both. I think we overestimated Kenny Pickett's abilities, but I think he's working with a car that has an engine that's not outputting all that much.
Yeah, that's the one from the other dealer. That's right.
Correct. Down the street. We know all about that. There's lemon laws.
I'm pretty done. I'm pretty done. I don't.
All right. Real quick though.
I don't belabor this.
Prediction against the Raiders. Are they going to beat the Raiders or not?
Come on, Omar. Make a decision, buddy. Let's go. I love you.
Are they going to beat the Raiders? Last thing before we go.
Dump Canada.
Answer the question.
I can't go against my Steelers.
I actually think they're going to beat the Raiders because there's too many people that are going to make that trip. It's going to be like a home game, and they'll squeak out a way, and we'll be just as frustrated next week. It'll be the same kind of game. They'll win 19-16 or something.
Wait, who's the quarterback? Garoppolo?
Yeah, Jimmy G.
I like Jimmy G. And you know who else I like? And you're going to hate me. I really like I like what I'm seeing in Baker Mayfield.
I've said this all along. If
really
he played in this town, people would love him.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. It's a good analogy. You're absolutely correct. I really do like him. I'm glad we absolutely decimated Cleveland quarterback. I don't like him as a quarterback. I don't like him as a person. So I'm glad we decimated him. Who's our defensive coordinator?
Terrell Austin from Sharon, Pennsylvania.
Doing a good job. I think he's doing a good job.
I'll tell you who's doing a good job. And this should get more credit. For all the things that people come out against and say, well, he had a couple bad drafts at the end. Colbert identifying Highsmith as a high-end talent and taking a risk to draft him was a very good decision from the scouting department because Highsmith was a diamond in the rough that they picked. I
agree with that. And you've got another one, though. And you know who it is?
You tell me, a draft guy or a free agent guy?
I think we drafted him.
Who's that?
Is it number 50? Herbig?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's dynamic.
Big time.
You know, if he walked into your dealership, you wouldn't believe he played for the Steelers.
Why? Small?
Just regular kind of – I mean, he's built, but regular kind of looking guy.
Really?
But he is mean and nasty, and there's something to be said for desire and heart.
Oh, well, you know, he reminds me of, and I think he could even be faster than the way he plays faster than Ryan Shazier. I think he plays like that, right?
He plays reckless. I'll tell you that.
He does. And, you know, and anybody that played reckless, Troy Polamalu, TJ Watt plays reckless. That's why he's so great. He doesn't care. And that's what I like about Herbig. I love him. So that's my guy to watch.
All right. Is what it is.
Hey, Penguins preseason starts Sunday.
You excited? Did they deliver your season tickets?
Yeah, they did. How'd you know?
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, they did. What's his name?
Lars Eller?
How'd you know?
Is that who came out?
Yeah.
It's weird you say that because I know that he's living not too far away from where you are. Not to give it away.
No, he did, and he's going to drive an F-150 on Saturday. Yeah.
Is it serious? Lars
Yeah,
Eller?
yeah, it seriously is. I'm looking at his jersey he signed for me. But that conversation can be deeper because you and I have touched on this conversation before, the difference between hockey players and football players.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the most humble, nice people. He was a gem. He was so unbelievably nice. And you could take that right down the line. You could take it to Sydney. You could take it to Evgeny. You could take it to Chris Letang. I mean, you could take it across the whole organization. And that is the difference between a hockey player and a football player. What is the difference? I don't know, but there is a distinct difference between the two leagues.
Can I also give a shout out to something in that vein?
Yeah.
That we have been disappointed, and we've talked about it on this show. We've even talked about it with Borky. We've been disappointed with the results over the past 6 years with the Penguins, and the on-ice product is one thing. But you take the thing like Student Rush and delivering the tickets and stuff like that. The Penguins in this country, and I'm not just talking about in this city, the stuff that they do that's not the hockey games, and the hockey games are great too. Nobody gets it more right than the Penguins from a professional organization.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But that culture started with Mario.
You're right.
Now, will it continue throughout the new ownership group? I don't know. I love Kyle. I think Kyle's making some big, bold, aggressive moves. I'm going to tell you, when Lars was here and we talked about, Ovechkin, him playing with Ovechkin, winning the cup, and they're good friends still. And just listen to him speak and how respectful he is to everybody, and the enthusiasm that Kyle has generated and trickles all the way down to Lars and everybody else. Everybody in the organization is jazzed about this season. Everybody.
Well, good. Let's see if the goalie can play.
See, you got to go there, right?
The
goalie to me is Matt Canada.
It feels that way until he proves otherwise.
That's my fear. The talent is there, though. But my fear, and then I don't know. He's a concern. But listen, I respect Kyle and I respect everything he's doing, and he made the decision, so he must know something I don't. So I'm gonna fall in line with it. But it's a yellow flag to me. It's a caution flag.
All right, not at red yet, just yellow. So
not a red. But I'm really excited about this Pittsburgh Penguins team.
All right. There it is, Rich.